morning, everybody. I discovered something with the new 1 milligram Ozempic that I'm taking. A lot of you are going to go, duh, and hopefully even more of you are going to be like, oh, I didn't know that either. So this is a 1 milligram pen. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, my mother's a nurse, but I'm still, I don't know anything. I open this up and I'm like, this is the same amount of liquid as what's in the 0.5 dosage. How exactly is this going to last me as long as the 0.5 milligram dosage did? Well, and the answer, and I am a little, I'm not really embarrassed. I'm just, it's just very interesting to me that I didn't really process it. There's just more of the semaglutide in it and less liquid per milligram. So I just didn't really think about it that way. I'm like, well, okay, so this is as much as what's in the 0.5 milligram. And sometimes that can be simple like that. Sometimes I can be like, why does this work this way? How does it go? So I did it this morning, and the plunger went the exact same amount as the 0.5. And I'm like, okay, well, that tells me that there's more of the medicine in the suspended fluid than there is suspended fluid, as opposed to the 0.5 milligram one. I mean, mind blown. I didn't think of it that way. And sometimes it just takes that kind of learning to finally grasp a concept. How does this work this way? Well, I just have to try it myself, and maybe I'll figure it out. And I did, and that was nice. And what did he do with my filters? Okay. He made noodles on this very countertop on Friday. And those noodles, and I need to tell him, because I think he beats himself up a little bit because he can't get it just like his mother did and just like his grandmother did. And I have to tell you, they were amazingly delicious noodles. I loved it. And he made his own little beef stock, and it was delicious, and it was amazing. And he made that right back there, homemade egg noodles back there, and they were of different sizes and shapes, just like they should be, in my opinion. They were just some of them were really thick and some of them weren't as thick, and they were hand cut, so everything was a little noodles were different sizes and shapes, and oh my gosh, they were just delicious. And I need to tell him that tonight when he gets home. I was in such a hurry to leave on Saturday because I wanted to get somewhere to that band competition, and I completely forgot to tell him what a wonderful job he did on the noodles, and I feel really bad about that. So, because he's always very hard on himself, because he's like, they're not like moms, they're not like grandmas. And I'm like, and I've told him once or twice, they're probably not ever going to be. And I said, do you really want them to be like theirs? It seems like something you kind of want that to be their own. I know you want them back, you want the nostalgia, but and I don't say this out loud, but it's like, I think I would just rather, your mom be here to make them, or your grandma to be here to make them, So it's hard. It's very hard. I just had another friend lose a parent. We are that age now. Both of my parents are getting frailer and frailer. They just are. That's just the way it is. It's just a fact of life. I don't have to like it, but at the same time, I notice it. Hearing problems. Dad hasn't been able to stand up straight for a very long time, so that's Oops, oh dear. Get back in there then. But you know, he does not walking very well. He can't feel his feet most of the time. There's just a lot. It's just a lot going on, you know, and they're losing their friends, and I'm losing the other parents that I had growing up, and you know, it's just, it's unfortunate that we have now reached that time in our lives. But at the same time, you know, I'm glad I made it here. Because to be quite frank about it, the alternative is not pleasing. At all. In no way, shape, or form is the alternative pleasing. So I put a piece of paper at the bottom, I'm putting a piece of paper at the top. This is a riff. This is not Lance's recipe because he's doing an espresso. I'm just doing a regular coffee. His espresso dealio kind of calls for, I kind of did myself in there a little bit, didn't I? It kind of calls for like 80 grams of water and then a lot of presses, and just to maximize the amount of pressure and foam coming out to make it espresso-like. Personally, I think I like the regular coffee this stuff makes. There's nothing wrong with the espresso. Lance made it all because I did try it and I did get it right and it was lovely. But this thing just makes good regular coffee. And that shouldn't be understated. So what we're going to do is we're going to put as much in it as it says. And it says to. We're going to put water in up to the limit there. Limit. You can put a little bit more in there. A lot of it drains down, so as you're filling, it kind of drains down and fills the reservoir. Because I got the two filters, it's going to cause a little bit more pressure. So there's higher extraction, more flavor, some of the things we might see. I do know this Frankenbones tastes amazing. We're almost there. So yeah, a lot of I'm sure a lot of people are like, what does morning coffee therapy mean? Well, it's my way of coping. Some people don't go back and watch the first episode. It's been 2 years. But over 2 years ago, I was laid off from my job. And I liked that job. It was January of 2023. And I was laid off. The worst part about it, I mean, there's a lot of worst parts. I mean, the layoff itself is bad. But the way it was handled, I don't necessarily, I don't know who, blaming is weird. Using the word blame is a strange way to go about it. There were a lot of factors. The worst part about all of those factors is that none of them have anything to do with me. There's nothing I could have done different. There's nothing I could have changed. There's nothing that could have gone any way, shape, or form differently. I was laid off because I was a name on a list, as being designated as not as important as. And you know, I was doing my job, and every review I had was outstanding. So it's like, you know, I could not have done anything different to have changed that. And I think, to me, that's worse than, well, it's much worse than you know, doing something, you know, that got me fired. You know, I didn't do anything that got me fired. I got laid off. Myself and several other people in the department got laid off. And I'm like, how do I cope? Well, I go back to what I went to school for, making videos. And that's how it started. You know, I'm like, let's get my editing skills back. Let's work towards working for myself. I tried that back in 2016, and just as I was getting to the point where monetization was a huge was coming about, Google pulled the rug out from underneath me and said, well, in order to get any of this, you now have to have this many subscribers and this much watched content. So they basically not only moved the goalposts, but put up a 20-foot high sandbag wall to stop me from doing what it is that I really wanted to do. And it was disheartening, and it threw me off, and I stopped and I went back to work. And now that I'm basically on the cusp again of that, I'm like 934 subscribers out of the 1,000 that I need in order to start the process of, you know, getting that ad revenue stuff going again. You know, it's frustrating. All right, let's start. This is going to be a little bit more tougher to push. I'm going to do that many, and we're going to let it stream through, and then we're going to do it again. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. It's just, you know, I'm just that close. I'm pretty close. You know, closer than I was back in 2016. Closer than I was in 2023 when I started doing this again. Out of sanity and necessity, you know. So therapy never stops. Therapy never stops for me, you know. And I don't mind it continuing. I would prefer it continue. If I'm continuing to talk out the problems that I have, then they don't feel like they're as much of a problem. There we go. How bitter this foam is. Just put it over here. There we go. Nice. So here's our Frankenbones condensed down. Very condensed down. It's got a much nicer, like, nuttier taste. Cancel. Between her and the people outside fertilizing, they're fertilizing right now outside. They started it, did they start it on Monday? I think they did start it on Monday. Let's put hot water in the cup here. Kind of wash the coffee out. There's two right about there. So we're putting, so we got 117 grams of water, of coffee water in there now. I'm basically doubling that. Yeah, I did. Wow, go me. Doubling that to tame the coffee down a little bit. And you can add half, you can add 25%, and if you can do math, you can do 75% if you wanted. You know, I mean, that's nice. Math is nice. But yeah, they're out there throwing fertilizer everywhere. I don't know, are they aerating right now? Yeah, whatever, folks. Guys, do whatever you'd like to do. I don't mind. It's just, why so early? And it's like dark outside. We're getting to the stormy times. Yeah, that takes it down. A lot less punchy in that bitter way. I got a lot of more butteriness actually out of the hazelnut and the chocolate. So, I mean, it does extract a lot more flavor, I think. It's just a matter of dialing it down enough with enough water. So it seems like a 1-to-1 for me, in my taste personally, a 1-to-1 with the OXO Brewer in the case of flavored coffees, seems to work really well. I've done the same thing, and tomorrow we'll do this with the geisha up there. So I think I've done this with the geisha before. It's a light roast. These are all medium. But the geisha's a light. The geisha's a light roast. I think that will change everything dramatically. And I'll have to clean this out to get the hazelnut out. I ran coffee through it to get the blackberry out. That helped dramatically. So dramatically and traumatically. So, you know, the Frankenbones is clean and clear and hazelnutty and buttery and chocolatey. It's a damn good coffee. It's really nice. Definitely one of my top 5 favorites. I've been sitting at like 930 for like, oh my gosh, since July, August. So, and the weird thing is a lot of people that subscribe don't come back for anything. You know, if I drop a Star Trek review, a lot of them don't come back for that. They just subscribe and then walk away. For the coffee, they just subscribe and walk. It's really a weird process to watch happen in real time on on the YouTube analytics pages. So I don't know why. It's really strange. I mean, maybe it's because I don't change the formula. I just feel like if you change the formula dramatically, it throws off the works. I mean, this is still a morning coffee therapy. It's me talking about my day and making a cup of coffee. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is great, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity and the ability. It is definitely a privilege to be able to sit here, stand here every morning in whatever orientation I put the camera, and, you know, and talk and chat and talk about the day and, you know, try to make myself feel a little bit better, and then watch Indy climb into the box again. Right, buddy? There you are. Silly cat. Anyway, thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. These OXO Rapid Brewers, they are not very expensive, I don't think. I mean, if you have a Chemex, I don't think it's much more or less than a Chemex. And, you know, it is rapid. You just need to heat the water, put it in, let it sit for 2 minutes, and then follow the instructions, you know, and then add a little bit of water because it is considered a concentrate. Add as much water or as little water as you want, or don't add any water at all if you think that flavor is for you. And, you know, you've got a cup of coffee in like 2.5 minutes. I mean, sans boiling the water boiling is always going to be a thing. Sometimes it takes a shorter amount of time, sometimes it takes a longer amount of time. Depends on the kettle you're using. I mean, you could do it in a microwave. You could heat your water in there. I mean, I think it's still about 2 minutes. So, you know, other than the boiling of the water part, this is a very quick way. I mean, I think it's faster than the AeroPress sometimes, especially with the kind of coffee you would want to get out of an AeroPress, especially at the price of an AeroPress for what it is, for all the plastic that it is. You can get the glass one, but the glass one looked incredibly fragile, A, and B, was a lot more expensive. So, you know, I highly recommend the OXO Rapid Brewer. And, you know, cleaning it, as long as we're standing here, cleaning it is very easy. Basically, it's all just steam here at the top. And then down here, it's just hot water. And if you use AeroPress filters, which you can, but you don't really have to, because I have made at least a dozen cups of coffee in this thing, and I have yet to see any kind of significant particulate at the bottom because of how, you know, the bottom here is, the holes are just so small. Especially with the grind size, if you grind it a maca, yeah, see that just, with the 2 filters, at least definitely with the bottom filter facing the screen, it all comes out fairly easily and quickly. And then it's just a matter of taking your scrubby brush, scrubbing around there, scrub around the mesh up here, make sure you get the mesh down there, and then, you know, set it in your strainer and let it dry off. and it's great. It is a wonderful innovation. OXO does a lot of cool things, but you know, bench scrapers, and I think that they've actually gotten into making like a coffee maker. They do a lot of innovative stuff at OXO. Stay there until you get it right. But personally, for me, I think I've gotten the most out of this than any like bench scraper or rolling pin we might have bought from them. So it's awesome. I really like it, and I recommend it. I really do. And I'm not being paid by OXO. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? But no, I am not. I am just happy to be here. I hope you have a wonderful day on your Wednesday, or whatever day you're watching this. We will see you tomorrow. I'll get the geisha back out. We'll put it through the Rapid Brewer, and we'll taste the sourness that is the citrus of a geisha. See you later. Bye.